Hey guys, Cajun Resell here, back at you with part 3 of the Lincoln Highway Buyway sales. This is the last video for that, unfortunately, but I did find some pretty cool stuff on this day. Several items here and there, some books were actually some pretty good stuff. This is the first sale that I went to. Picked up two, right there, bowling balls at this sale. I'm going to throw a little clip in here in a second about behind the scenes with Ken and Jill. Make sure y'all go follow Ken, SSK Promo, if you want to. He's a really cool guy. I had fun hanging out with him and Jill on the last 2 days. Me and Ken did the first day, and him and Jill did the last 2 days of this sale. But yeah, here's some interactions between us at the sale. Here I'm just looking at clothing. I'll get to that interaction in a second. Looking at clothing, none of the clothing stuck out. This was, I think it was the actual first sale we went to that day. We chased this one for a little bit, but it said it was open. I think this is why we went to it and made sure we didn't want his sale that wasn't open yet. So this one's open at like 7. I think I did debate those jerseys, but it didn't look like it was any team to me. It was just like a random Chevy jersey. So here's the interaction from behind the scenes. Behind the scenes of Lincoln Highway Buyway, day 3. Jill and Ken. Jill's got some shoes, but she might also be buying a bowling ball.
Wait, hold on. They're back here.
Jill, for some reason, loves bowling balls.
Look, how
that one's actually very pretty.
I know, and look.
So we'll see if we buy these bowling balls or not. So at this first sale we go to on day 3, we happen to find some bowling balls, as you saw there. I did get those two colorful ones. I think Jill got one or two more, maybe, but this bowling ball, I would weigh it right now and tell you how much it weighs, but this scale only goes up to 10 pounds, so it's going to give an error. But I think they were like 14 or 15 pounds. I do have this one listed, the purple and pink one. It's listed for like 60 bucks plus shipping, I think. So some of these bowling balls, there's some that are worth a ton of money. Back in the day, I think Kayla, the homeschooling picker, found one that was basically clear as a skull inside, and she sold it for like $200. So there are bowling balls that are worth big money. This one's not worth that much, and the other one hasn't been listed yet, unfortunately. I just never got around to it. But I need to go list the other one, obviously. I think the brand, I don't remember what the brand was on this thing, but yeah, if you see a bowling ball and it's cheap and it's colorful like this, now if it's just a generic black bowling ball, it's probably not worth any money. But one like this, maybe will be. And that's all I got at that first sale, but let's move on to the next one. This was the next sale we went to. Found those two cool items right there. I think they were like 10 cents is what they were asking for that. This was like the last day they were doing it. I think it was the last day of the Highway Buy, but I think it was only a 3-day sale. It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't remember. Yeah, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because Sunday we just hung out at the cabin, and then Monday I went over to Pittsburgh to hang out with my friend KJ. So yeah, that's the one item I pick up at this sale. I did pick up one or two other items. I don't remember what they were. They might have just been for personal, because I think I wound up spending like $1. Those were each like 10 cents, and it was like 20 cents. I was like, okay, let me find enough stuff to make this $1 so I don't have to worry about getting change and carrying around change. So sometimes if I know those things, those little chalkwares, which is what those were, if I know they're worth it, I'll pay $1 for other stuff that I might not actually sell and just use it as gifts to give to somebody else or something. Snow globe might have been worth it. It said made in, I don't remember what that said, but I don't think I actually Google Lens that. I probably should have though. That's just a little like wall plaque, I guess, hanging thing. I don't remember seeing a brand. Flip this over and I don't see a brand, so I'm not going to pick up glass that's unbranded unless I know for sure it's something valuable or if it's super cheap. I think it was like $5 or $7, somewhere in that range, I think is what it was. So that's why I passed on that as well. They did have a lot of glassware here that might have been worth some money, but I don't, at that point I did still have the booth. Right now I don't have a booth to put that kind of stuff in. So I don't particularly like shipping glass, and it's harder to store. I mean, you can put bubble wrap around it and store it, but it can still break somewhat easily. So for me, glass, I'm going to pick it up if it's like a good brand. Here's a summary. So at sale number 2, I got this like chalkware, I think is what they're called, like onions or I think it was garlic and corn. They had some chips and dents in them, but I've got them listed for like $35 or $40, and I've already gotten a couple watchers on them. So yeah, I just listed them like last week, and this is like a couple months after Highway Buyway was done. But yeah, I finally got to a bin that I had that they were in. So that was the stuff I delayed shipping or delayed. Not shipping, delayed listing. So that's why those haven't sold yet. They will sell probably within the next month, if I had to guess. On to the next sale. This was one of the sales we're going to remember the most. My Lady, it's a barber book. So yeah, that book is worth a decent amount of money, actually. And I'll talk about this in the summary, it took them forever to give me a price on it because they didn't have the person, it was somebody else's book, and it just, I don't know, it was a cluster. Not fun. Ken called it the jackhole sale. We had a couple of those at this one where the people wouldn't give us a price on the item. They had to it took forever. We're like, well, we got to go to our next sale. But yeah, the Milady, and then that little picture frame was Thomas Kincaid. Thomas Kincaid can be a good brand depending on the item. And for $1 or $1.50, I can't remember which one it was exactly, I'll take that any day. It's still not listed yet. I'll talk about that in summary. But yeah, all this stuff is stuff I'm passing on. I didn't see any value in it. There probably was some value here. Maybe in those books. I didn't have time. The only reason I scanned the other book, it wasn't with those books. It was in a random section away from it. Anytime I see a textbook, I'm going to scan it on Amazon and see if it's worth anything. Textbooks can be pretty good money if you can find the most recent edition. Also, engineering textbooks can be very good money if you ever find some engineering textbooks. Even if they're outdated editions, they can still sell for some money because somebody's trying to get, they don't want to pay $150 for a book. They'll pay $50 for the same book in an older edition, and it basically has the same exact stuff. Here's a summary. So speaking of items that haven't been listed yet, here's one of these items from this sale. This accent print certificate of authenticity by Thomas Kincaid. Almost said Thomas Cade. Thomas Kincaid. It's from 1999. So I haven't even looked it up yet. I just saw Thomas Kincaid, and it's a new day dawning is the picture. So yeah, I had to pick it up. Paid a $1.50 for it, as you can tell right there. I also got a really good item at that sale. It was my first item I used in the Ken vs. 10 challenge. It was a book, Milady. It's some kind of barber book. Speaking of barber, yes, I know I need a haircut. My haircutting person hasn't been responding to my messages, so I'm about to find a new person probably. But y'all didn't need to know that. Moving on, that book sold for like $75 or $80 on Amazon. So that was a good sale there. Paid $2 or $3 for it. The lady took forever. Like, this is one of the what Ken called the jackal sales, where they don't have a price and they have to call somebody to figure out the price. If you have it at a garage sale, you should know the price. If someone says, oh, sell this for me, well, get the price before, not during. But yeah, I mean, I figured for selling for I was almost selling for $100. If I'd waited and not done the Ken vs. 10 challenge, I probably gotten $100 for it. But I wanted to get a sale. So yeah, $75 or $80 for that book. Not bad. This was another fun sale. Harley Davidson manual for $5. Wait till you see what it sold for. Very good find there for sure. Anytime I can see Harley stuff, I debate all this Harley stuff here. The boots I think were priced way too high for my liking, which is why I passed on them. But I'm gonna have a little interaction here with the kid who's asking me why I'm filming. It's always weird to get that question. But maybe the bats could have been worth it. Easton bats can be good. I think I got, or whatever you call it, confused here or whatever, rattled by them asking me about it. So I only pick up the one Harley Davidson item. Here's where I'm going to talk, where the kid asked me about why I'm filming at his garage sale.
You don't mind me asking, why are you videoing?
Just have a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah? What's your YouTube?
Cajun Reseller.
Cajun Reseller?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
C-A-J-U-N.
C-A-J-U-N. Alright, thank you.
No problem. So speaking of book sales, here's another one at this yard sale. This was a random one we went to on day 3 of a yard sale. If you ever see our Harley Davidson manual like this one or any other ones for $5 or less, you should be picking them up. This was 1997, 1998, I think is what it was. It's a Harley Davidson soft tail. I don't remember what the brand was, but yeah. And I also found some Harley patches earlier in this trip, which I think I already sold one for like $90 or something. So yeah, Harley Davidson stuff can be very, very good if you can find it. I found a decent amount of it on this sale, actually, on this route sale at least. But yeah, $5 into $89, and I don't know if I included the audio clip, but there's actually a kid asking me, "Why are you filming?" That's a little awkward whenever, I know it happens to a lot of people sometimes with the GoPros on. I just had my phone out and I was recording, but it's still a little awkward to be like, I have a YouTube channel called Cajun Reseller. Maybe if it was a different name, it didn't actually say reseller in it, maybe that'd be a little bit better, but I don't know. I think they'd know what you're doing anyways. But either way, got that one item there, and it's already made a big profit. So yeah, good sale. Always got to throw in some plushies. So here's some plushies that I bought. I think probably 25 cents each. I probably paid $1 for all those. I don't think we really found much at this sale other than those guys. There were some hats there that I debated picking up. Yes, I'm wearing sandals. It was pretty hot that day. So yeah, I wear sandals to garage sale, especially if I'm not driving. Ken did all the driving, which I was very thankful for. So thank you, Ken, for doing all the driving. That knife set I debated, it wasn't Cutco, unfortunately. If that'd been, well, it wouldn't have still been there on day 3 if it was Cutco. Of course, some of these sales, they only did it on this day. That one, I'm not sure. It didn't say Cutco on it, but it does have the pattern of Cutco on there. So That could have been, and I could have just passed it up. I didn't see Cutco on there though, so that's why I passed on it. And there's another. They had a bunch of knife sets here. I think that's a different set. But sometimes knife sets can be good if you can get them. Cutco obviously is the best brand, to me at least, it's the best brand. That's why I always pick it up. There's a random remote. Sometimes remotes can be good money, but I don't think that was. I think I did actually look that up just to make sure, but it wasn't worth anything. Here's the summary of. I guess I'm just going to do like a quick summary of the plushies and why I picked them up. So at this sale, I find some plush, but nothing really that great. 3 little Beanie Boos, I think. I think they were like 25, 50 cents each. So anytime I see those for cheap, I'm going to pick them up. You can do that if you want to or not. Sometimes they're really not worth picking up. There are some that are worth big money, but the majority of Beanie Babies or Beanie Boos in general aren't worth that much money. Let's go on to the second to last clip where Ken found some really cool stuff. Alright guys, so after day 2 of yard sales, we decided to go to a thrift store in the area. We found all of these, well, Ken found all these patches. He's going to explain why he picked them up. Ken?
Right now, yeah, these are all Super Bowl patches from varying years. There were a total of 40 of them. I was able to negotiate a pretty good deal at $2 a piece, and we comped these all this morning, and we think there's a potential gross value of about $765. Of course, we got fees and we got cost of goods, but I think probably the best find of our Route 30 weekend.
Oh, for sure. These are all worth over $50. They're all Super Bowl. The more recent ones are actually the more valuable ones. Surprisingly, usually think the older is the valuable. 2020 Super Bowl, it's 55, around 55 comp wise. Same with this one, where the Patriots won in 2019. This one was from 2018. If you have the ones from 2021 and 2022, they're worth what, $100? I think.
Over 100.
And these two we're gonna lot up together because it's year 50. There's an alternate one that did AFC, NFC, where it has, I think it has all the teams on them, or no, it has all the emblems of the Super Bowl on the back. Then these were 40 Patriots, 2 Patriots ones, and Ken might also lot these up with some other ones. These are all worth like 10 to 15. It's all based on the teams, like teams that have actually won multiple Super Bowls. 49ers, Cowboys, Colts are in there, Redskins were in there, I think, Raiders are in there, and then these were all like 20 to 30, I think. Unfortunately, for Green Bay, they only had this one. They didn't have all the older ones. So I think, we go back to the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we went back to the 70s. So not all Super Bowls, but it's a pretty good collection of Super Bowls. And obviously the most valuable one is this one right here, when the Saints beat the Colts in 2010. I guess, yeah, it's 2010. 2009 season, 2010. But this one's the most valuable one to me, at least. And Ken was gracious enough to give this one to me as a souvenir. So thank you, Ken.
You're welcome.
And that's it for probably our best find of the Highway Buyway sale. So as y'all saw in this clip, this was at a thrift store actually, but it was on the Route 30 sale weekend, so I'm going to include it here. Ken found some really cool stuff. That was at the cabin, if y'all remember that from like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I posted what sold videos from the cabin. Well, this is from the cabin as well, Nancy's cabin, Nancy and Jill's cabin. So shout out to Nancy and Jill again for letting me stay there. But yeah, these Super Bowl patches is what they were. I think Ken found like 40 or 50 of these things, and I think he paid $2 each, so like $80. I don't remember for sure what he said. He said it in the summary y'all just watched, obviously, but yeah, turn it into $750 almost. Not bad. And from what I might throw some what solds here from what Ken sent me on Instagram, but yeah, a lot of them have already sold. So yeah, not bad. Whenever you sell 2 of them for $50 each and you pay for the whole lot, and then you got all that profit left. Yeah, that might have been the best buy of the weekend. I don't know, those Barbies I had were really good too. So, but Ken only spent $2 each. I spent $10 each on the Barbies. So yeah, I'd say that was a pretty good find. Let's go on to the last clip, which was a private pick that Ken got through the actual connection he had at that thrift store. Let's go to that. The last sale of Lincoln Highway Buyway to show y'all that Sony Walkman and a DVD player, or not DVD player, actual laptop that's still not listed yet. I wasn't sure on that thing. I need to plug it in, obviously, and get it working. I think it was selling for like $30 to $40 plus shipping, so that's why I picked it up. And she only asked $5 for each one of those items. So yeah, $5 isn't too bad for those. That was attached to the wall, so I'm going to pick that thing up. I did pick up some more items. I don't remember what they were exactly. I think one of them might have been a little digital handheld camcorder. It was in a different closet randomly away from everything else, where there was a bunch of shoes. There were some, I can't remember what brand the shoes were. I think it was Merrill. But I didn't pick those shoes up because they were pretty worn, and I wasn't sure what the price was going to be on them, and I'm not always the best at selling shoes, so that's why I passed on them. I'm not going to show them in this clip, but this was the house. To the left is the basement right off the kitchen, and we're about to go down the steps. Well, no, we're going over there. Also, I picked up the little Indian baseball as well. How do y'all like that staircase? Yeah, I picked up an Indians baseball, like memorialized the first game at that new stadium, I think, or something like that. I'm going to show, here's a quick clip of Nancy.
Find something good?
I don't know. It's a Sony Walkman weather alert radio. This is a laptop.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a mini laptop. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's worth much, so they're probably going to be wanting too much, but we'll see what they say. Shout out to Nancy. She made a cameo appearance there. This is the basement of that private pick that we went to. Bunch of clothing over in that section right there. I think I'm going to show y'all some of the clothing, but that was also a bunch of, like, you know, I guess decorations, fall decorations, spring decorations, all kinds of crafting stuff, which I found a lot of recently in storage units. For some reason, they had $5 on every single Chico's item they had at this sale. I'm not sure why they valued Chico's so much, the private people that were running it. But it was basically run, the state was run, sale was, there's a cool Ohio State sweater, I did pick that up. State sale was run by someone that worked at that Sweet and Sour Thrift, I think, or she maybe just did estate cleanouts. But basically, you know, stuff was decently priced here. I did pick up several items I'm going to show y'all in the summary. Christmas items, some clothing items. I'm not sure if anything's actually sold yet, but Ken also picked up some cool stuff. I don't think I actually showed any of the stuff he picked up, but that was a lot of Halloween stuff they were not selling Department 56. Here's a summary of what I picked up. So for this last sale of Lincoln Highway Buyway, which was the private pick that we got to go to basically after the sale was over, but hey, it was still fun to go to. I found some cool items there. I didn't show all of them. The FM radio, I think it's sold already. I'm not positive, but like 50 or 60 maybe. I'll throw the comp up if it has sold. I don't know if it has or not. But I found some cool items. They weren't selling, like they had a bunch of Department 56 stuff that they weren't selling whenever we were there. I think Ken actually went back and bought a lot of it. And if you watch his Ken vs. 10 show, he actually threw them in his, or he did a Ken vs. 10 show Christmas, and a lot of them were in there. So yeah, Department 56 stuff is always good to pick up if you can. Another thing that's good to pick up is Christopher Radko. Y'all can see that there. It's right there, the snowmobile. So $5 for this thing. Or no, I think this was like $2. They bought it, whoever bought it at Home Goods at $48. I have it listed for like $100, $150, somewhere in that range. I need to do the comps against this Christmas time and try and get them sold. But I think the problem whenever I looked it up was there was none sold, and there was like 4 or 5 listed. So yes, the sell-through rate wasn't there, but even if this doesn't sell, it's still super cool. I could not get it. It's a musical as well, so it's a musical snow globe car. Clothing was also $1 there. So any clothing I picked up was $1. I'll show y'all some of the stuff. I think this is the Santa Mickey sweatshirt. So yeah, cool little pullover sweater there. I don't know if I've sold any of these. I think I've sold a couple clothing yet. I don't remember what they were though, so I'm probably not going to throw up the comps for them. This is a cool AOP Indianapolis Motor Speedway Field of Dreams. The original Field of Dreams Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's a really cool shirt there, probably worth $50. AOP means all over print, in case you're wondering. This Ohio State versus Arizona State Rose Bowl. I got a decent amount of Ohio State stuff there. I got some cool sweaters. Well, as cool as they can be for being Ohio State. But yeah, and then this Rose Bowl shirt from 1997. I did get a decent amount of Disney stuff. This paint splatter Disney Mickey was really cool from 2000. I probably overpriced it. I probably need to go in and lower the price. I almost wore this whenever we went to Disney. I almost took this, but it did have the tags on it still, so I didn't want to get it dirty or anything. So it was size medium, so it actually would fit me. It was only $20 back in the day. Couldn't find any comps on it, so that's why I'm not really sure of the value of it. And the last thing I'm going to show y'all is this cool, I don't know what, if it's a sweater or if it's like supposed to be a pajama top. It's not like a sweater material, but it's not silk like pajamas, so I don't know for sure what this is supposed to be. It's Mickey and Friends, large size. It's got all the different characters on there, the main characters on there. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for coming along. Don't forget to leave a like, comment with your favorite item that was found in this video. Mine's probably gonna be those Super Bowl patches because those are really cool. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks for watching.